Hi, welcome to day 2 of my self-imposed cookery week challenge, where I am attempting to make some of the recipes that I often say I wish I could make if only I had time at home on my own in my kitchen. Here I am at home on my own in my kitchen with an awful lot of time. The question is, do I have the cooking skills and indeed the inclination to actually make the recipes? Well, today I'm ready to cook. The oven is preheating and I'm wearing a pinny. And I do have the inclination to make this next recipe. It's something that I would say I eat probably every day, sometimes more than once a day. I have over the years bought bags and bags and bags of this stuff, sometimes at more than £5 a bag. So I'm really keen to see whether or not I can make my own homemade granola. Now it all starts with the oats. So we're going to need 250 grams of oats, and it's best to use jumbo oats. These are organic whole rolled oats. They look pretty big, and that looks like about 250 grams. I'm not entirely sure how accurate my scales are. I bought them as an ornament at a car boot sale, but that looks like a fair amount of oats. I'm going to add to that some desiccated coconut, and I can be very certain that I've got the measurements of this right because I've got this lovely little cook's measuring cup which has very, very pleasingly got a section in it dedicated specifically to measuring desiccated coconut. So I'm adding 50 grams of desiccated coconut to my oats there. Now, next we're going to need 150 grams of crushed nuts. So I've got a bowl of nuts here. Now you can see that they're not actually that crushed at the moment. I just want you to see there we've got walnuts, we've got Brazil nuts, we've got hazelnuts, almonds, they're all in there. They're not particularly crushed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into this bag like that. Then I'm going to wrap this bag in a tea towel and I'm going to hit it repeatedly with a rolling pin. It's probably slightly more pleasurable than it should be. We'll keep going until all your nuts are crushed. Now I've put my crushed nuts into this large cooking pot. I haven't broken them all up completely. I've left some whole. I think it's quite nice if when you're having your granola you do get a whole mouthful of nut. So I've left some of those uncrushed, and I'm going to add to that my oats and my desiccated coconut. Now a lot of the granola that you'll find on the high street is absolutely packed full of sugar. Now I am not going to be using any sugar to sweeten my granola. I am going to be using 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and just have a little look at this cute little measuring jug that I have never ever used before. Just found it in the drawer in the kitchen. So I'm adding that's 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and I'm also going to put in 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. Again, another little gizmo that I've got here. One of these little measuring things of tablespoons and teaspoons, and I think that one's the tablespoon. So I'm going to need 3 of these, and I'm not going to put them straight into the mixture. I'm going to put them into a separate saucepan because, as you can see, the coconut oil is quite solid at the moment. So 3 of those are going to go into a saucepan, and I'm just going to pop that on a low heat. Totally getting the cookery jargon. I'm going to pop that on a low heat on the stove just to melt that down so that it's nice and soft and runny. There. Yeah. It's all going marvellously well. Now this is where it could all go horribly wrong. I need the white of 1 egg, and the white of this egg is currently inside there with the yolk. I'm going to have to separate them out. And I wish I was cool enough to just crack this egg open on the side of a glass with one hand. I'm not. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to break the egg on the side of the glass there. And as you can see, some of the white is already coming out there. What we're going to try and avoid is any of the yolk spilling out as well. So we've managed to keep as much of it in one half of the egg as possible. So now we just pass the yolk from that shell into the other half of the shell, and in doing so, there we go, we get the white dripping out. This is kind of brilliant and kind of disgusting all at the same time. I'm going to do it one more time, just passing the yolk from one shell into the other so that we get the yolk left in there, and we've got all of our white in one glass and all of our yolk in the other. Now, we don't need the yolk for this recipe. The yolk can be used in other recipes, so I'm just going to put that to one side. I'll put that in the fridge for a few days until it starts to smell funny, and then eventually I'll probably wash it down the sink. What I'm interested in now is the white. I've got that in my glass now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a bit of a whisk up to make it nice and frothy. So give it a good old whisk until it becomes frothy. This could take a moment or two. Just keep whisking that up until it gets a nice froth on it. Just keep whisking. There we go. So it's got a nice froth on the egg white there, and we're going to add that into our mixture. One final thing, we're just going to pop in there a little pinch of salt. Don't know why, just most recipes have one, so there we go. So there's our granola mix. I've mixed that all together. Make sure that your oats get a really good coating of that lovely sweet mixture of the maple syrup and the coconut oil and the egg white. Ooh, it's all in there, it's all mixed up, it's all coated, and we're just going to tip that out onto a baking tray, which I have already lined with grease-proof paper. Just spread that out nice and evenly on your baking tray, and you're going to pop that in the oven for about half an hour, 40 minutes, until it's golden brown. At a gas mark of 150 C's or F's. Put it in the oven until it's golden brown. Give it a little bit of a stir and a shake up halfway through. And there it is, my very first batch of homemade granola. I'm chuffed to bits, and what's great about this versatile dish is I can now add anything else I want to that to jazz it up a bit. I can put in more nuts, I can put in some sultanas, some raisins, I've got some chopped dates here, I've got some dried apricots, some M&Ms, and I can't wait to try it with my favourite other serving suggestion ingredients, which is a chopped up banana, some natural yogurt and some blueberries. So let's see how this first batch tastes. Oh wow, that is really good. That is delicious. It's crunchy, it's sweet, it's nutty, it's oaty. You can't even taste the egg. That's really nice. Bung that into a container and that'll last up to 2 weeks in the cupboard. That's what it says on the recipe. That's not going to last up to 2 weeks in my house. It's really good. Homemade granola. Easy. Done. Excellent. See you tomorrow.